here from OTT, and I'd like to welcome everybody. I'd like to welcome you from the United States this morning to the OTT Destination Unlock webinar, and of course the UK this afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome to our Destination Unlock Pack Your Bags to Belize, which was just looking so beautiful. That video is just amazing and so enticing for us to get there and to get tourism moving again, which is what this webinar is all about. So first of all, I'd like to kick off by introducing our wonderful panelists, and they are Deborah Gilharry. A little wave there, Deborah. She is the Senior Travel Trade Officer for the Belize Tourism Board, and she is live today from Belize. We also have Simone Bell. She's the Membership and Marketing Manager for Belize Hotel Association, and hopefully we can see her in a minute. There she is, the little wave there from Simone. We have Roani Badillo, who's the sales manager from Tropic Air. I think you can guess which one she is, Roani. And finally, we have Freddie Softly, who's the UK representative for the Belize Tourism Board. And Freddie will be managing the chat as well. So any questions you might have, she'll endeavour to answer, or certainly bring them to the panel at the end of the conversations that we have. So firstly, we have got to get there, haven't we, Roani? How are we going to get there? How are we going to get to Belize? So do tell.
That's right. We do have to get to Belize. So one of the ways that you can get to Belize is by traveling to Cancun, Mexico, and then taking a Tropic Air flight over to Belize. Once you're here, then you can definitely take that Tropic Air flight again. You can go to San Pedro, Placencia, just about anywhere across the country. We fly to 11 destinations in the country of Belize. And we also have 3 international destinations, one of which I mentioned, which is Cancun. We also have Flores in Guatemala, and we have Roatan in Honduras. Just about a week ago, we also announced that we'll be adding El Salvador to that list. Okay. So we are working on getting all the documentation ready. And as soon as we have the dates of those flights, then we will definitely be releasing that. So keep following us on our website, on our Facebook page, everything social media related, and you will definitely know when we have those flights available.
Great. And I know that you have planes a little bit bigger than the one in the picture.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
This one in the picture is a 14-seater caravan. So we have 15 of these.
Okay.
And we have 2 3-seater aircraft as well. And the newest addition was the Beechcraft 1900D, which is a 19-seater aircraft. Mm-hmm. It's a twin-engine pressurized cabin aircraft. So it's much bigger, much faster.
Great. And so obviously 2020 has been a very special year. How have you been coping with all the new sort of COVID protocols? Do you have a sort of any rules, as they say, regarding mask wearing, boarding? Do we need to allow longer time to board, this sort of thing?
Definitely, we do take into consideration all the COVID rules that are put in place for us in the country. One of which, like you mentioned, is mask wearing. So we do ask our passengers to wear masks throughout their time in any Tropic Air location, as well as throughout the flight. So that is one requirement there. We do also have sneeze guards in front of all our desk areas. Our team members have protective shields on, as well as their masks. Our pilots are required to wear masks as well throughout their flights.
Pilots?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then what we do as well is that after each flight, we do a sanitization of the aircraft. So it's basically cleaned after every flight. And the captain of that aircraft does monitor to make sure that everything is okay. Our maintenance team goes in as soon as that plane lands, makes sure that everything is cleaned.
Fabulous.
Yes. So, and then upon boarding the aircraft, we do have hand sanitizer as well. So we do ask everyone to sanitize their hands. Because you get on the aircraft, you're going to touch the seat belt, you're going to touch, maybe the chair in front of you. So we try to keep everything as clean as possible.
Okay, that sounds great. And so we can connect and get to Belize, but you all can also fly us around Belize as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have just before, well, I have to say before COVID. Right now, we are working on limited schedules, but before COVID, we had over 200 flights a day around the country and the
Mhm.
international flights included. So that gives you an idea of what our schedule would look like to have over 200 flights a day, right? And as you can see behind me, there is the Blue Hole. So we do have that tour available as well.
Mhm.
So our passengers can depart from San Pedro, from Key Caulker, from Belize City, and from Placencia. So the tour is a very scenic tour. The pilot will take you over some of the islands so you can see other islands along the way over the reef. When you get to the Blue Hole, let me try to scoot over a little bit there. So when you get to the Blue Hole, the pilot does circles on either side of the aircraft so everybody can have those picture perfect moments. The aircraft, as I mentioned, holds 14 passengers, but for the tour, we only operate with 11
Mm.
because we do want to ensure that everybody has a window seat.
Oh yes, yes, you need a window seat for sure.
Of
It just looks
course, of course.
spectacular. Even just behind you, it looks amazing. I imagine
Yes, and
literally
it's
for
a
real.
very different experience because I know people come to Belize to dive the Blue Hole, but
Mm.
it's a totally different experience doing the aerial flight.
Yeah.
So it's a must do for travelers here.
Yes, yes, you get to understand all of it then, don't you? Sort of from
That's
air
right.
and then from the sea.
Yes,
Fabulous.
because from the sea you see it, you just see the flat part of it, but from the air you get to actually see the entire formation.
Fabulous. That's really, really good. And is there anything to note for when we land in terms of the airports, immigration? Are we tested when we land? What happens there?
Okay, so I can definitely share some information there. So we do recommend to have a PCR, a negative PCR testing when you come in. That just speeds up the process for you when it comes to going through immigration and customs. If you don't have that test, we do administer a test at the airport as well. So you know there is that availability there as well if you don't have that test. Once you get cleared through customs immigration, then you can definitely just either you take your shuttle over to your gold standard hotel or you go over into the arrival lounge, you check in for your tropic flight wherever you're going and head over to departure, and then you just basically wait there. There is social distancing practice at the airport as well, so people aren't crowded and bunched up together. There is adequate spacing so people can feel more comfortable and feel safer.
That's great because I know things keep changing week by week, and particularly in questions to do with tests, they change. But if you did have a test at the airport and you actually didn't have one before you landed, how long does it take for the results and what's happening? Do you just have to wait at the airport till you get the result, or are you allowed to continue? What's
I
happening there?
believe you do wait at the airport to get your results. I think it's more of a rapid testing, so it's not a very, very long wait.
Mm-hmm.
There is a cost to the test as well.
Yeah.
Debbie may correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's US $50 for that test.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Well, that sounds reasonable. I've heard a lot more, actually, double that, even
Yes,
triple,
correct.
triple
That's
even.
right.
So it varies. This is the trouble. We have to keep asking because things do vary so much.
Yes,
So thank you.
that's
Yeah.
correct. And I know that Deborah and her team at the Belize Tourism Board keep their website updated.
Okay.
On our website as well, we also try to keep as much updated information as we possibly can
Mhm.
because since we do have travelers coming in with us, we do get questions about, what the protocol is, what they need to do. So as much as the tourism board updates their page, we update ours as well to match and make sure that we're all in line.
Okay, that's great.
Yes.
Okay, so now we've landed. Then, Simone, it's over to you. We need to get over to the hotels and start relaxing and unpacking. And what's the hotel experience like now in Belize?
It's wonderful. What happens is we've all implemented a safety standard, which ensures that the provisions of the hotel are set in place so that you can have hygienic practices while you're there. Um, they have adopted the gold standard, which is practice here in Belize. So, like, if you are booking, you're able to see that they have a gold standard medal on the website. And what this means is that this hotel will have social distancing protocol in place. They've installed additional hand wash basins in the facilities, sanitization stations, their laundry, all the laundry procedures are set to a particular standard to ensure that we protect your health and safety. And then of course, the properties are just beautiful. Right now, the occupancy is pretty low. We forecast that it's going to remain in about the 20 to 30% for the first quarter. So if you want to come and participate in a socially distanced experience, the standard that I've mentioned has also been extended to the transport sector and the restaurants. So when you go into the restaurants, there's a cap on the amount of people that are able to be in the restaurants at a time. You have to make appointments. We do encourage face masks in public. However, you are allowed to remove your mask while eating and doing experiences. It's just that you'll have people providing you with the information that you need in order to enjoy the experience. But the hotels have gone above and beyond to ensure the safety of all of our guests. Our properties are beautiful. We have several. We have private island experiences. We have jungle lodges. We have beaches on the peninsula, so you get a bit of land and sea at the same time. And you don't, because some people are afraid of flights or boats. So it's an amazing experience, and we're ready to host anyone who's here.
Sounds fabulous, absolutely. And so for those hotels that have pools, are we able to just relax, or do we still have to wear masks around the pool?
Yeah, yes, you are. You are able to relax because what the hotel does is maintain social distancing. So you won't be beside anybody out there, keep the 6 feet protocol in place. So you can have that experience. So it's great. And then if it is, because we do have villa experiences and we have private island experiences, like if you wish to just partake and just extract yourselves from life and come to Belize and have another life untouched, then that's an exceptional experience that we're able to cater for. So that's the wonderful nature of our product. We're very diversified. So if you want to vacation on a remote island, we have that available for you. If you want to isolate in 7,200 acres of wilderness, we have options that are available for you. And if you just want a room on the beach, we have that for you as well. If you want to work as well, we have another program where you can come and you can stay extended. And if you want to remove yourself from London or the US for a couple of months, Belize is able to host you. We have a lot of condo resorts that have the same amenities as a hotel, daily housekeeping, etc., but you're not in that hotel flavor. So the lodgings that we have available are very varied and suitable for everyone.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see the diversity as you sort of explain it. It's almost a holiday for everyone.
Yes,
if you want
indeed.
to relax, have adventure, get more involved into the sort of the eco nature of Belize and lodges, like you say. It sounds wonderful.
It is.
Thank you. Right.
It's perfect actually, because we have for family vacations, we have adult only vacations, we have all-inclusive vacations. So whatever it is that you're looking for, we're able to cater.
Fabulous. Really good. So Deborah, now we're in Belize. We've unpacked our bags and we're relaxing in the wonderful hotels and hospitality of the Belize Hotel Association industry. What are we going to do? So tell us more about what we can do in Belize.
Hi, good morning. So Belize has just so much to offer, and just a few things to keep in mind for people that don't know much about the destination. We are an English-speaking destination. We also speak a little bit of Spanish. And so when visitors arrive in Belize, the minute they arrive, they step into a world of rich history, culture, the warm hospitality, unrivaled adventure, great fun and relaxation. And so because Belize is a very unique tourism destination, we have a lot of stunning beauty that will just spellbound everyone. And if you look at our background, like we have the Maya temples, exploring the Maya temples, visitors can do that. We have beautiful beaches, we have the Great Blue Hole, we have such lush tropical rainforests. And so things also like the only jaguar reserve in the world, numerous waterfalls, rivers, caves, and palm strutted white sand beach. So we just have so much to offer. And then of course, our culture, we have such a very diverse melting pot of cultural ethnicity and history. We have a lot of rich history. And that's what makes, that's the backbone of our tourism industry. So, people can enjoy hiking, nature trails, exploring underground caves, climbing Maya temples, snorkeling in the waters with friendly sharks, deep sea
Friendly
dive.
sharks.
Yes, only Belize, right? And then there's also sports fishing that, so excellent cuisines. And of course, the warmth of the friendly people, in the country. So, and after a long day of fun, visitors could just simply relax and enjoy a therapeutic session. Maybe they want to do some sort of spa experience, or they just want to experience just a serene solitude and rejuvenation, wherever they are. So, the country just has so much beauty and attractions that would enthrall any visitor. So one thing we like to say is that when you come to Belize, you are going to be spellbound by the stunning beauty of the destination.
I think we could see that from the video. Just listening to you now, you just want to book and go. And I'm sure many of us will. It's just wonderful. And I know that, Deborah, you've got some questions that actually you'd like to ask all our wonderful audience out there. So I'm just going to launch the poll for you.
Yes.
And if everybody wouldn't mind participating, we'd love to know your views on what you think. So do you want to go through it, Deborah?
Yes. So the first thing we would like to know, the first question is, what is the average time for a PCR test result in your community? Is it 1 to 3 days, more than 3 days, or same day?
Okay, so hopefully you should be able to pick what it is. I think we might be having a bit of difficulty with the poll for some reason. Oh no, some people are now doing it. That's okay.
Okay.
Oh yes, so we'll just give you some time. Okay, and the other questions there, Deborah?
The other question is, what do your clients travel for? Is it business, leisure, romance, other? Is the poll showing? Sorry.
Yeah, it is. It's working.
Oh, okay. Okay. All
Next
right.
question we've got.
When do your clients plan to travel? Is it final weeks of 2020, first quarter of 2021, second quarter of 2021, third quarter, or fourth quarter of 2021?
Okay. And a couple more questions.
Yes. Are you selling Belize? Yes or no?
And another question.
Can travel insurance be purchased as an add-on to the package you sell? Yes or no?
Oh, bless you, whoever that was. And the final question there.
How do your clients feel about new policies being implemented by countries for travel? The first choice is they're fine with it. Stricter policies mean more safety. They're not happy. Or they're not fine with it. They're fine with it. Stricter policies mean more safety. They're not happy. Or they're not fine with it. Stricter policies mean more safety. They're not happy. Or they're not fine with it. Stricter policies mean more safety. They're not happy. Or they're not fine with it. Stricter policies mean more safety. They're not happy. Or they're not fine with it. Stricter policies mean more safety. They're not happy. Or they're not fine with it. Stricter policies mean more safety. They're not happy. Or they're not fine with it. Stricter policies mean more safety. They're not happy. Or they're not fine with it. Stricter policies mean more safety. They're not happy. Or they're not fine with it. Stricter policies mean more safety. They're not happy. Or they're not fine with it. Stricter policies mean more safety. They're not happy. Or they're not fine with it. Stricter policies mean more s and will opt for destinations with more laid-back policies, or are they indifferent?
Yeah, so interesting. Right, okay, so I'm going to close the poll. I think everyone seems to have answered it. And if you'd like to read the answers there.
Okay.
So I'm going to share the results.
Okay, fantastic. So for the first question, what is the average time for a PCR test result in your community? So 66% says 1 to 3 days. And yes, 17% more than 3 days, and 17% same day. So 1 to 3 days, which is fine, because in Belize we do require within a 72-hour window. So that's perfect. What do your clients travel for? And we have 98% saying leisure, 20% business, 29% romance, and 12% other.
Amazing. Okay.
And then when do your clients plan to travel? We have 41% saying the second quarter of 2021, 39% saying third quarter of 2021, and we have 10% saying the first quarter of 2021 and the fourth quarter of 2021. So 10%. And are you selling Belize? So we have 44% selling Belize and 56 not selling Belize. So we definitely need to do something about that.
We do.
And then can travel insurance be purchased as an add-on to the package you sell? So 83% says yes, and 70% says no. How do your clients feel about new policies being implemented by countries for travel? 63% says they're fine with it. Stricter policies mean more safety. 24% says they're not happy and will opt for other destinations with more laid-back policies. And 12%, they are indifferent.
Well, very interesting results there. Thank you so much for participating, everybody. It's really invaluable for the tourist boards to understand how tourism is going, and for everybody out there, it's also quite interesting. Are they the sort of results you expected, Deborah?
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. You know, I'm hoping though that we have more people selling Belize.
Well, after the video and after today, now we know more about it, I'm certain they will do. Absolutely. So that's very good. Right. So, Freddie, you've been managing the chat, and the chat looks like it's been very chatty.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to read a lot of it, though, unfortunately. But yeah, tell us what's going on.
So we have a few questions for Roani at Tropic Air. One of them is, what is the maximum checked-in luggage for traveling on Tropic Air from Cancun?
Okay, well, we do have different types of fare tickets that you can purchase. So it really is dependent on that ticket class that you purchase. But for example, if you purchase what is usually the most popular ticket, which is the everyday fare, it's one piece of luggage checked in. Any other would be at a cost of US $35. Plus you have a carry-on as well. The carry-on, just so that you are aware, is a little different on our flights, because as you can see, the aircraft is a bit smaller. Because we do use, just a note, we do use that caravan that you see behind me for the international flights. The bigger aircraft will be in rotation shortly. We are finishing up the paperwork, but the carry-ons are not the carry-ons that you can take on the bigger airline. It's that it has to be able to fit in your lap, like a handbag, a laptop bag, or something of that sort, that size, right? So what is a normal carry-on would also have to be checked in as well. But for the other fare tickets, let's say for a flexi ticket, you may be able to take 2 checked bags. You have availability to have free bags as well. Like I mentioned, it's just really dependent on that fare class that you purchase. But everything is on our website. I have it readily available as well. So, if you want to reach out to me, I can send you an email with that information. So it makes it easier for you to have on hand when you're dealing with your guests as well.
Yeah, and another comment was whether we could have the contact details for the presenters today. So we'll make sure that we share all of those so that you can follow up directly.
Yes, I'll send you a recording of this webinar so you can share it with colleagues that couldn't perhaps make it, and also all the contact details as well. So that's no problem. That will be done within a couple of days of the webinar.
Perfect. And then there was another question about flights from the UK.
Okay.
Obviously, unfortunately, we don't at the moment have direct flights from the UK, but Rohani, do you have any kind of flight agreements or code-share agreements with any international flights?
We did have a few, but they're mostly from Central America. So it's going to be, you'd have to purchase our tickets separately. We don't really at the moment have any partnerships with any of the UK companies, so that you can connect, buy one ticket and connect to Belize.
Watch this space.
I was going to say that's an opportunity there, isn't it? For sure, it's a popular destination. So
yeah,
definitely. I know we are working along with some companies to try to get this in place. It just takes some time, and I know there are requirements that we have to meet. So we definitely will look into this a bit more, considering that there aren't yet any direct flights from the UK to Belize.
Yeah. And then we had one question which Simone has already answered, but I think it might be quite useful for the rest of the attendees. So I'm just going to read it out again. Somebody asked what the new protocols were for dining at the hotels. So all tables are socially distanced. If you're traveling with a group, no more than 10 people can be seated at a table together, and appointments and reservations are recommended. Sorry, Simone, I took that one from you, but if you need to add anything else, I just read out your answer.
Yes, and if I may add to that, a lot of the, because we've been having some changes again, the whole situation with our safety protocol, it's very fluid. So that's part of the reason why we encourage everyone to just continuously visit our website for the latest update. So like our Ministry of Health recently released a new SI, which details some of the protocols as it relates to not just dining at restaurants, but the overall experience with when people are coming into the country. And so I just thought I would just kind of let people know, like for example, right now there's a curfew being in effect, from 10 p.m. to 4:59 a.m. When it comes to coming into Belize, foreign travelers must, they must stay at a gold standard hotel. They need to ensure that they have the Belize Health app downloaded, and they have all that information. So it's important for advisors to understand that these are requirements that are mandatory. So ensuring that all these things are in place before the passenger comes to Belize, so that the experience, it goes somewhat flawless, as flawless as possible, the whole process. And then as it relates to like the restaurants, restaurants could provide like open air or outdoor dining. So that's one of the things that are being encouraged. And so they're only doing it by reservation. And so like in some facilities, no more than 50% of the seating capacity is allowed. So, all licensed restaurants, they can offer like takeout, delivery, or drive-through services. And like Simone said, no more than 10 people would be gathered in any public place at all. Sorry. And then of course, the whole social distancing, wearing of masks, all of these things, sanitizing and all of that, all of these things. Now, bars, rum shops, discotheques, nightclubs, gyms, casinos, any sort of gaming establishments, those are currently closed. Spa service, for example, it remains open. So clients could receive spa service, but they would have to book it by appointments. And they only allow like 2 customers within the business establishment. And so, all of these things are to be considered. And I think somebody was asking questions about cruise. Right now, all land and seaport entry into the country, they exist out of Belize. Those are closed with some exceptions. Okay.
If I'd like to add to what Deborah is saying, because I don't want anybody to be afraid of coming to Belize. What happens is it's very fluid. So right now we do have a protocol that has been implemented. It's actually a 21-day protocol. So those rules that she's mentioning are the rules that prevail for the next 20 days, because no, actually 19 days, because we've already exhausted 2 days out of that. So what happens is, as we try to manage the pandemic in each territory, because I know in the UK, they have gone into several phases of lockdown, and as well as the US, they have some measures in place. Our governments implement policies to try and manage the situation. So the details that were just mentioned by Deborah are short-term measures that have been implemented. So the travelbelize.org website is a very good resource, because each country is going through very rapid changes, as Julia mentioned. So it's just best to keep abreast of that. But when you do come to Belize, you come cognizant of that. And you also come knowing that we do have the safety procedures in place at the hotels, at the restaurants, so that you can still partake in the experience. So you're still allowed to participate in tours. You're still allowed to experience Belize. We just ask that you wear masks, that you observe the safety protocols that are in place. Because, I mean, people are living here every day and they're going about their lives and they're enjoying the experience. And yes, we do have increased safety measures, but they're temporary measures. And it's best to stay tuned to the travelbelize.org website to be updated on the resource.
Yes, I think you're quite right. It's literally around the world. And there is this expression in the UK, which you might have out there, which they call the new normal. But actually, this is really what's going on. So by 2021, we've kind of got used to this whole sort of thing that's going on. We've got used to the fact that governments are putting together various different new types of rules and regulations and trying to keep us safe, trying to manage hospitals and admissions and things and all of these bits and pieces. And that things keep changing. Tests go quicker. Cleaning technology is increasing and really getting very impressive, I must say. And then we'll just get used to wearing masks as we, go into restaurants or wherever we go, and we'll just carry on living our lives. I think hopefully 2021 looks very much like set to be a year where travel just gets going again, just because, well, why not? We understand what this is now, and so long as we're keeping ourselves safe and the country's doing its best, then why shouldn't we just carry on living our lives? And I think there's a lot of pent-up demand for traveling again, for sure. And I'm sure that you travel professionals out there are going to enjoy the bookings as they start to the confidence starts to come through. And these Destination Unlock webinars are exactly this, to try and understand what today's situation is like. But we understand in 20 days time, or what did you say, 17 days time, whatever, you burnt to 18 days, I can't do my maths today, it could be a different again, and that's absolutely fine. So we're all used to checking whether it's the OTT training courses as to what the situation is, or whether it's your tourist board websites for the up-to-date latest information. We're all trying our best to keep travel professionals informed so they can tell the consumers quite rightly exactly what's going on. So we're running a little bit out of time now, Freddie. Any burning questions that have come through that we need to cover, or?
Well, there are just a couple of general ones asking about average length of stay and a typical itinerary, but I think we can sort of direct people to our website because there's a lot of information on there with regards to typical sample itineraries and activity recommendations and things like that, and also the OTT course. And then if there are any other specific questions for Deborah or I, or even Roani and Simone, then people can follow up directly.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So I'll do one sort of email with all the details in it that you can then access, and you can kind of take it from there. Is what we'll definitely do. So now, of course, we can't leave this webinar without talking about the most exciting thing going into 21. Finally, fam trips are returning.
Yes. So
now, tell me how we're going to do this.
So we haven't yet got a confirmed date for a fam trip, but we are definitely hoping to do one in 2021. So we have 4 places on a fam trip to give away, 2 from the US and 2 from the UK.
Great.
And all you need to do is register for the webinar, which you've already done because you're watching it. So that's step 1 done. And the next step is just to make sure that you've also registered and completed the online training program. So agents from the US, you'll have to do the UK version, and we'll send round the link to you. Julia will follow up with all of the information in an email. And so once those have both been completed, we will draw the names on Friday of this week. So I think that's Friday, the 4th of December. And we will go out to the lucky winners on Friday.
How exciting. Right. So you're going to compare the registration, the attendees from today's webinar with those that completed the course, and whether it's from the US or from the UK. And there's 2 fam trip places for the UK and 2 for the US.
Yeah.
And that is really generous and very exciting for 21.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you there.
Fabulous. Okay, so, well, it just remains for me to thank everybody here for joining today, our wonderful panelists for telling us all about how we can really get tourism moving to Belize. And it looks like such a beautiful country with literally everything that you could want to do. So thank you very much for demonstrating that. And thank you to all of you for joining us, whether it's this morning or this afternoon. We really, really appreciate the fact that you've taken the time to tune in today to hear how Belize is opening up for international tourism. All of your bookings absolutely matter. They always mattered, but they matter even more now. So thank you very much for recommending Belize as a destination. Next week, we have a webinar for Go Korea at 11 o'clock. This is for the UK audience on Training Tuesdays. And then on Thursdays, we have got our big OTT festive party. And that has got tons of giveaways, about 15 different prizes. Again, sadly, it's just for the UK market. Sorry, US, we're hoping to do you for January, so watch out for them. But for the UK, there's flights to Hong Kong. We've got Amazon vouchers. It's really going to be good. And we've now got Travel.radio involved, and they're going to do a pre-show party on air at 3 o'clock, just before we go live with the webinar at 4. So do keep tuned to OTT's messages, and then you'll know all about it, and you can register and sign up for them. But anyway, for today, thank you so much, Belize, for joining us, for enticing us to your wonderful country, and wish you all well and a good day. And thank you to everybody. And it's goodbye from
Goodbye.
OTT.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Está llegando,
Es el DJ de fiesta y de baile,
se está aproximando,
la fiesta de nuestra gente,
estaremos celebrando,
la gente hispana y hermosa.
estarán bailando,
El Rotaract aquí en Orange Rock,
se está preparando,
música alegre y bonita.
estarán disfrutando,
Lucio y todos sus niños
orgullo de nuestra raza,
alegran a donde vayan,
con sabor y alegría,
fiesta y baile,
gozar,
baile y fiesta.
en Orange Rock,
También hay fiesta.
la ciudad.
Santa Elena.
Nancy. I said, who that the king of the jungle? Yeah. You are Nancy. I said, who that the king of the jungle? You are Nancy. I said, who that the king of the jungle? Yeah. You are Nancy.
What a pretty day, good man and with a trouble.